talk about how the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes cartoon did pretty much everything the MCU is trying to do now, but...
Alrighty then. If you haven't watched the video, go watch the video. He basically talks about how everything in the anime series Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero is doing or did better than what the MCU is trying to do with Secret Invasions, Kang the Conqueror, and even had to say another example is Ultron. Because if I'm not correct, Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes has nothing to do with the MCU and etc. etc. It's more connecting and more inspired by the comics and every event in the comics. And the way they, for example, did Secret Invasions. I haven't seen the new series of Secret Invasions, but based on what I understand, it sucked. It wasn't good. It's basically all they used was the title, Nick Fury, the Skrulls, and what the Skrulls were doing, swapping places with people, replacing them for Skrulls, and etc. etc. Because based on what I understood with Secret Invasions in Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes is the whole plot, based on what I remember of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, was the Skrulls were replacing certain heroes for Skrulls and having their knowledge, their memories, and everything. So it was hard to see who was a Skrull, who was not. They were pointing at each other, they were arguing and stuff like that, and that's what made it interesting. If they did something similar to the MCU, then I don't think it would get as much hated. But they didn't do that. They just used the title and just completely changed it similar to the comics. I don't know if Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes event is as accurate from the comics, but I can tell it was much more enjoyable, much more interesting. Similar to Ultron. Ultron was a bigger villain, a knowing villain to the Avengers and stuff like that. Kang the Conqueror. Based on what I remember of Kang the Conqueror, that show is what got me into Kang the Conqueror. Even Ultron. Even the whole event of Secret Invasion and the Skrulls and stuff like that. I don't know if Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes is as accurate as the comics, but you can tell it's is inspired exactly from the comics. Certain details that happens in the comics, they brought it to the series. And it's sad that the series never got to continue and actually fully finish and deserve a good finish, because they canceled it and replaced it for another Avengers series that was more inspired and exactly similar to the MCU and stuff like that, not to the comics. And that's why I prefer Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes than anything they've made it later on, because that one felt more inspired from the comics. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the things the MCU has done from the comics has done good, or at least altered enough where it makes sense for the MCU. Some of them, it could have been better. But like I said, that's more of my thoughts, more of my opinion. Like I said, I haven't seen Secret Invasions, but based on what I heard, it wasn't as good. And I've heard people say that it ruined Nick Fury's, giving him the spotlight. Which, based on that, it makes me not want to watch it. I will one day watch it to see, but I don't know. But let me know your whole thoughts on what I just said. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? And it's fine if you disagree with me. It is fine. But just let me know your thoughts.